Hi there, Virgo. All right, well, let's get started. So the Lovers at the bottom of the deck, that's it. You need someone who, this is a card of commitment. And so it's one thing to say, I do at a wedding, right? It's one thing to say, oh, you're my boyfriend, you're my this, you're that. But it's how people show you that they're committed to this commitment is by the little choices they make every single day. And if they continue, and obviously, people need to have their own lives, so they can't only do things for you and with you all the time. That's unreasonable. But they should be considering you in their decisions and their choices that they make, and they should choose you more often than they choose something else. I mean, if they're always choosing to go with their buddies or the girlfriends or whatever, are they really truly committed to you? Are they respectful of your boundaries? Are they respectful of your needs? So those are the types of things you really need to think about. And if they're not, it's time to move on. Move on. Be the leader in your own life. Be in charge. Make the decision that's best. If someone's not considering you in their life and their decisions and aren't truly committed to you or respecting your boundaries, you need to make some decisions that are healthiest for yourself. And some of you are in denial about it. You're not in a good relationship, and it's time to walk away. If someone's doing this to you and you're holding on to that relationship because you're just afraid of letting it go, you're going to make a change. You're going to make a change. You're going to move out. You're going to start taking care of your own health and thinking of your needs. What are your needs? And walk away. You're not going to tolerate staying in a negative relationship anymore. So the Hermit, and again, as I said before, I don't use reversals. It's personal choice. It's just not something I tend to use. So the Hermit is all about finding your truth. You can think of the number 5 card is the Hierophant, and he would be a religious leader, and things like that. But this is your truth. Who you are inside, what makes sense to you. So this is about your inner truth, how you decide you're going to view the world. For example, I was brought up Catholic, but that religion didn't appeal to me at all. And the more solitary reflection that comes with the tarot cards just makes a lot more sense for me in my life. And so that's where I tend to be. It doesn't have to be about religion at all, just your morals, what is important to you, what are you about, and retreating and taking some time out to really think about that. And it's kind of interesting, it does fall after the 4 of Wands, because I just said it is a bit of a plateau to celebrate and then do a little bit of reassessing before you move on. So the Hermit really says, you've attained this level of success. That's wonderful. That's great. Now, as you move on, let's really consider deep down what is important to you, what your priorities are. Do you make sure what you're doing next really makes sense and fulfills you spiritually? Use your inner guide to guide you for this next part moving forward. And then you have these beautiful new beginnings down here, including the 10 of Cups. So you are going to get your happily ever after, whatever that looks like for you, but it's going to take some work. And that work is, why have I been in unhealthy relationships? What has gone wrong with other relationships? Why have I allowed people to disrespect my boundaries in the past? And where do I want to go? I need to be able to visualize the positive relationship that I want. And that may not look like this picture. It's whatever you want. Your picture could look very different. It may not involve kids. It may involve same-sex couple. It may involve not getting married. It may involve, it could be, it could look however you want it to look, but it's your happily ever after. And then once you've made the change, then this beautiful offering from the universe
a new way of life, a new way of living your life for you, a new feeling of what home and family is. I mean, you may even change your job. I mean, I feel like this is going to change where you live. Like, this is going to be a beautiful new beginning for you. That's for some of you been a long time coming. And if you're single, again, why have I tolerated that type of behavior before? And getting real clear about your boundaries and then sticking to them as you move forward and entertain new relationships moving forward.
So let's take a peek here at the third card. Oh, and the Eight of Cups. So I actually really like this card. It can be a little bit of perhaps a sad card. Cups are emotions, so it can point towards relationships. But, we are emotional about a lot of things, about work, about our hobbies, about politics. I mean, people are passionate about all sorts of things, religion. And so it really can branch out way beyond just a romantic relationship. So in the Five of Cups, it tends to point to a situation where maybe someone else breaks off a relationship with you, or you're pining after someone that doesn't share the same feelings towards you. But the Eight of Cups is where you walk away. You get to a point where you know your own truth, the truth of the Hermit. You know deep down that this isn't working. It's time to walk away. And it's actually kind of interesting. I just looked. I said originally the Four of Wands does tend to, and it's Spears in this deck, I apologize, points to a marriage. And then after a lot of soul searching of the Hermit, decision to leave a marriage. So that's, since I did bring up the wedding, it can be that someone's making, it's a choice to leave something. That could very well be leave a place of employment, leave a friendship. It doesn't have to be something as serious as a marriage. Something you've decided that it's time to walk away from. And it can be really sad in a lot of ways. It doesn't mean you're not happy necessarily. You can be. You're not necessarily happy about this decision, yet it brings with it a slight bit of excitement. You can sort of thinking it as closing a door. You close that door, but then you turn around and you're ready to move on. So there's a bit of excitement. It's a bittersweet card, I guess is a way to put it. So you've trying to put this all together. Like I said, it's reading the tarot is like a puzzle. There's some happy things going on here. You've accomplished some things you've really wanted to accomplish, and it is worth a celebration. But for some reason, it's causing you to do some soul searching, which may, in the end, you may decide to walk away from it. And even though you may have invested a lot of emotional energy, a lot of your time into something, and even been successful, you're realizing perhaps it doesn't quite feed your soul. It isn't working on some level, and you would be not living your truth to continue on the path that you're in, and decide to move in another direction. So the Eight of Cups at the end here is, again, it's if you're not a person that enjoys change, is comfortable with change, it can be tough. But try to focus on what is coming up, the possibilities. Allow yourself to get a little excited about starting a new chapter in your life and having it more in line with your values and what you want out of your life.
So thank you so much for tuning in, and I hope you have a great month. Take care.